Okay, so this is just discussing initial ideas. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a couple on the other page of initial ideas. So initial ideas, I've started with this top one here, which is about selecting a particular area of one of the studies that I've done. That's this piece here. You can see that I've put a red square around it. I've taken that section there where the branches are, and I've just isolated that area, and I've started to do a little biro sketch of that as a sort of in terms of developing it and as an initial idea for an abstraction. Okay, this piece here is an enlargement, and that's an enlargement of that area there, okay, as an idea to abstract it. This piece here is, I've taken a section of one of the trees and I have turned it into a positive and negative. So the internal and external spaces, I've made the space around the actual tree completely black, and I've left the tree just as an illustration. Okay, and that has come from this sketch here, this drawing here. Okay. Another idea I've had is to overlap imagery. So I've looked at different drawings and I've drawn over the top of each one of those drawings with different coloured biros, and I've started to pick out some of the spaces, use the mark making techniques as well, in order to kind of create a confusing image in terms of abstraction. You can still see branches going in certain directions, but the overlapping in itself makes it much more complicated and creates more of a sort of a structure and an abstracted image. And that has come from images like this, okay, which I've started to overlap on top of each other, and these, okay, and also mostly focusing on the biros and these images here. Okay, so that is some of the initial ideas that I've started to do as well. I've used this one as well, which is I've used inks. Okay, it's a slightly different tree, but I've used the brown paper which I've used in previous studies to break up the image. So I've drawn it in ink first of all, then I've put the brown paper on top, then I've redrawn in different sections to bring back the shape and form, just to break the image up, just to make it a little bit more abstract. This one here, they're starting to get a bit more abstract now. I've started to use geometric shapes to sort of represent the leaves. We've still got the branches as well as a little idea. Still thinking about the positive and negative spaces. But it's a kind of follow on from this one here. So it's a little bit more of an initial idea, but going a bit further into it now. This one here is an initial idea, trying to capture the sort of disorder again, using different colours, blocking it out, adding a bit of the triangle. So in a sense, it's starting to develop a little bit. These are still initial. I'm still thinking about what I'm doing. I've got more of a representation of the tree here. Okay, so you've got a kind of comparison between this fluid line and the structured geometric shapes to pick out the leaves and the patterns from the trees that was made from the initial drawing I did, the primary drawing. Again, starting to think about elements, breaking it up. I mean, and I could take then sections from this, which is my thought next in terms of I'm going to develop this next. This is the thing that I feel is working. This as an idea, so this is what I'm going to develop next. Those are my choices for development. Okay, so this stage now, I've completed initial ideas.